First, though, Nick's story. She immigrated from County Down in Northern Ireland 8 years ago. She's got 2 kids here and calls New Zealand home. Then came the illness.
It's doing the simple things in life. You take nothing for granted. All the materialistic things don't matter to you anymore. It's just enjoying life for what it is and realising what is precious to you.
Right, OK, that's how you can jump. Get it.
She's 32.
I caught it again. That's 2 for me.
The mother of a 5-year-old, Connor. Last July, she found out she had breast cancer.
When you found the lump, did you know, did you feel it was something that it shouldn't have been?
Some people said it could probably just be a cyst, it'll only be, but I knew. I had a double mastectomy. I was advised because of my age it would be a good idea to have a double mastectomy if I didn't mind, if I wasn't too concerned about that. And thankfully I did, because when my histology report came back, I had stage 3 breast cancer. It was in the lymph nodes. Don't mind me if I don't watch.
No, that's all right.
Even more seriously, Nick's breast cancer was of the HER2 type. HER2 is a protein that accelerates the growth of the cancer, making it particularly aggressive.
Fabulous, we're on our way.
Herceptin's one of the new type of targeted cancer medicines that attacks only the cancerous cells.
So what is your prognosis at this point?
At this point, whenever I see my oncologist, she said, well, without treatment, if you don't have any treatment, it's about 30%. If you opt for chemotherapy, which she said would strongly advise you to do, with your radiotherapy, that brings it up to about 50%.
Of survival.
Of survival. They also said if you can afford Herceptin, we would strongly advise you to have it. But at $100,000, I'm a sole mum, I don't have assets, unfortunately. A lot of women are selling their homes, taking a second mortgage out, trying to fundraise, and it's a lot. Living with cancer is very, very difficult. It's extremely difficult.
Do you think he could catch a whale?
But the Devonport community's rallied. They're fundraising the cost of the drug. $120,000 is needed. So far, $15,000 is in the bank. Nick's grateful. It's all about being here for Connor.
Like the one in your knight's castle, is that your big sword? You could be a knight.
I have got Connor.
With a big shield, all you need
And really I want to be here to see him grow up. And with Herceptin, like with other women, Herceptin reduces the chance of our cancer coming back by 52%, and that's huge. It is huge for women like me. And I would really like to get that drug because it will increase my chances of survival a lot. We're not a statistic. We're not a statistic. I know when you say 2,400 women in New Zealand get diagnosed with breast cancer every year, 25% of 600 have, are HER2 positive, but 600 of them also die. But we are actually people. We've got people who love us, and we want our chance of survival.
Living and dying is something Nick's lived with in the past year. In April, her 3-year-old daughter, Kenzie, was diagnosed with a bone cancer, Ewing's sarcoma.
Really, for me, I always wanted that Kenzie would be okay, and I suppose whenever I got sick, I didn't think about it so much because she was still paramount.
At the end of December, Kenzie developed a lung infection and had to be readmitted to hospital.
And even at that stage, I still believed she'd be fine, I could lie in bed with her, which was nice those first 3 nights I could, but then on about day 3, the kidneys weren't working.
Her blood pressure became unstable. Doctors offered to intervene.
She said, look, we can jump down to her chest if you want. And I said, no. I brought her into this world. She needs to grow up with dignity. I won't be holding her. So we took her off the machines and they brought her to me. And I got to carry her out of her journey at her life's end.
I think she's not home yet.
Now the struggle's been transferred to Nick herself. But she's not alone. There are 600 women with HER2 breast cancer. 600 women wanting another chance at life.
This is a tough question to ask you sitting here as a human being.
Yeah.
But it is a huge amount of money for drugs like Herceptin, and Herceptin is one of many that are now being developed for various types of cancers and other things that work incredibly well for a small number of people, but are incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
Can you understand the difficulty that we as a country face with it, trying to fund those sort of drugs?
We do understand, but again, I was in my 2nd year of my psychology degree. I wanted to be gone and be a child psychologist. I want to be a productive member of society again and give something back. And with this drug, I can do that. Without it, I may not live that long. Kenzie lived her life to the full, to the very last minute. That child lived her life to the full, and she was happy. After being through so much pain, she was happy. And that's what I can live with those memories for. She was happy. And that's what I want to be for Connor, and she'd want me to be happy for him. So yeah, I think that's what we live with.